Harry Maguire seems to come in for it all the time. And last night, another reason for that.
Well, he made a mistake. You know, players do make a mistake. As soon as I saw the mistake he made, I thought, well, he could be in for pelters because it's him. You know, he's in the dissenters' public eye, which I think is totally unfair with him. I worked with him when he was an under-21 player. He's a good kid, a nice kid. I think his football's good, personally. You know, he didn't have a good night last night, granted. For England, I think he's been superb.
But how can that be? For England, great. For United,
Well, I don't think it's been awful for United. That's my opinion on the issue. He's lost his place in the team. He's decided to go with other players when they're available, and that's something he might need a move this summer. And I think if I was Aston Villa, if I was West Ham, if I was Newcastle, I'd be all over Harry Maguire to get him out of United if he was available. I really would.
Newcastle, he could do a job.
Look, he suffers from the problems of an inflated transfer fee. I've never felt that he's a great player. I think he's a decent player. There were times when you could look back on Steve Bruce and say that he wasn't the greatest defender, but he was part of a very formidable unit, and United aren't a formidable unit defensively, so he's landed at a Manchester United that have been all over the place for many, many years now. I think for England, great. Most of the time we play inferior opposition. So the comparison between how he plays for England and how he plays for Man United, when you have to be at it because you're playing against top strikers week in, week out inside the Premier League, is a different one. And the fact that he's no longer part of the thinking of Manchester United as a first choice player can't sit well with him, and no doubt he'll have to depart, because I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. I don't really know. I mean, I've made observations. I didn't like some of the robotic, ridiculous interviews that he gave afterwards that I didn't think had any substance behind them.
I remember that. You've been heavy on him.
I do think that, you know, that the allegations that stuck with him about that situation in Greece have probably diminished him in certain people's eyes with his behaviour, and the allegations of his behaviour and some of the things that were attributed to him to supposedly have said. I don't understand why they're really after him, because it seems to me that whatever he does, he can't do right for doing wrong. So if he plays well, it's taken out, it's not considered. If he plays badly, then everyone's on him.
Yeah.
So I think he probably needs a change, but I think he is symptomatic. It's this argument we're debating about the culture of Man United. I think culture's part of it, but I don't think the players that they've got there at certain times are good enough. And until they get better players, Manchester United are not going to go where Manchester United want to go.
But if the players aren't good enough, that in itself is not good enough.
Well, of
because
course.
This is the most iconic club in the world, according to you all the time, Simon.
Well, of course, that goes down to recruitment. That goes down to the policies and decision-makings of various managers over the years that have bought players.
This was Seville last night. This wasn't Real Madrid.
Yeah, but again, the same thing applies. That Seville aren't mugs, but I take the point, and we've already said that Manchester United, because of their spend pattern, well, you can make an argument about how much people spend. Daniel Levy was making it yesterday at the Cambridge Union, talking about how other people have spent so much money. We can make an argument about Everton having spent £500 million, yet where are they? Narrowly avoiding relegation. What you spend is not necessarily indicative of what you achieve. It's what you buy with that money.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.